is a name resolution. So what is the name resolution? So name actually good work for the human. Human can remember any name like google.com, facebook.com and any name. So it is can remember the name like web server, 0q or any name. But network devices don't know the name. They don't know the name. So in this case, they are working over the IP address and it is easy to them and it is easy for the human, means IP address is not easy for the human to remember this. This is difficult. But all the devices is working over the IP addresses. So name resolution relate these two values so the human can use this to find the associate address. etc host and domain name system. So domain name system is a DNS server which having the entry of the domain name and the IP address. We have already discussed in a detail in the Network Plus. So I am not going to cover the more thing in this. Okay. So etc host, you can get the host file here. Like here in this file, I am going to display the file /cat etc and the hosts file. Okay, this file having the IP address for the local address and the KT. But if I will put any IP address here like google.com and it will hit on the local IP address, so it will hit the local IP address. So if you want to make the entry in this, like I am going to use the VI editor and the /sudo, I need to put in the sudo VI editor /etc and the hosts. So here I am going to make entry here the 127.0.0 127.0.0.1 and the subnet mask is a google.com. Okay, and I am going to set this. Now I am going to start this service. Sudo systemctl command is used for controlling the service and start the Apache 2. So Apache 2 service already installed on the Kali Linux, so it is started. Now I am going to open this browser and I want to access the google.com here. So I have made the entry of this file and this file is a etc. This file I have made this google.com entries here and point out 127.0.0. So I have made the changes in this here in this file etc and host file. I have made the entry of the 127.0.0.1.google.com. So when I am accessing the google.com here, google.com, so it is hitting or pointing over the 127.0.0.1 and the same is a local host because this entry also exists in here like local host which is pointing here 127.0.0.1. so here the local host and also there is another is KT which I have done the entry here this one. So it is also hitting on the local. So if I will make the changes or remove this entry from here by using the VI editor and I am going to remove this entry So you can see here the google.com is accessible. Okay, so how the name resolution is work, we have already told you. The first is lookup ns. If you want to get the name any system or the server, so you can use the ns lookup and give the domain name, so it will provide the information. Like in this system I am going to use the ns lookup and the local host, so it will give the information. Server cannot find the local address, domain name. If I am going putting here any IP address, like any name is a kumartraining.com, so it will provide the information. The IP address of the Kumar Training is this is the IP address also. This is the IPv6 entry and this is the IPv6 entry. Okay, so NS lookup is used for the looking the DNS server and their IP address. Okay, so the hostnamectl, another command like hostnamectl is used for controlling the host name. If you run the hostname command, so it will display the current host name is a KT. If you want to use another host name, so you can use the host name, putting the sudo hostnamectl command --help command will display all the available options. So check the status is here, the host name is a KT, and the version, if you want to change the host name, so option is, where is the host name option, means if you want to set the host name, so you can give this information, change the host name. So like if you want to get the host name, so it will display the host name value. Unknown command is get and set, so I think Z is capital. So this is command used for the setting the host name, so host name should be changed here the Kumar Training. Okay, so this is the host name and host name has been changed. So you can change the host name again. I am going to change the host name again in a KT Kumar Training. Okay, so etc host file I have already told you, where you need to make the entry of the IP addresses and domain name. So another is the configuration of the domain name server, because domain name server you cannot assign by the using the IP using the command, so you will have to provide the entry in a resolve.config file, where you can make the entry of the name server and give the IP address, name server and give the IP address. Okay, so how you can do that? Here you need to provide check the entry of the etc and resolve.conf. resolve.conf, and here already the name server a.a.a.1 and the name server a.a.a.4.4. so this is already the entry is here. If this entry is not here, so inside here in this file you need to make the entry, and once you will make the entry, your DNS server will be changed. Here is another file, it is called nsswitch.config file. So this file actually tell the computer or the request where to find the host file and for what, means in the sequence, like host in the host file, use the /etc and /host file first for the DNS record. Later on you can use the DNS server for this process. Another command is a root. So because in a computers there is some IP address need a routing table, means your computer has a routing table. So you can also define a specific route if the data is coming having this particular packet or the subnet mask, where it will be the forward. So you will get this information by using the root command. It will display the available route here. The default gateway IP gateway is this gen mask, and here this is the route, means all the network will be forwarded on this default gateway. If you want to add route, so command is here to adding the route is root add network and net mask to the device, the ETS0, where to packet will be forwarded.